Okay, believe it or not, part 16. Oh, dude. Yeah. Okay, so we put this in the, if you watch part 15, there's a few little marks here. I put some matte clear coat on this, nothing shiny. You know, there's a few little, somebody did something marks, but they do fit. And I adjusted this one out a little, and this one in a little. And if you can see, it's a little off. This one's out a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is, I'll take it all apart again, and I'll clearance this notch here. There's a little oblong notch on this piece. And I'll clearance it up a little, you know, like an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch. In fact, I'll probably do both sides so I can get that exactly exact. It's not bad, and only, you know, a very discerning eye would see that bend. You can only see it when you look straight down. This one's out just a little bit more. I tried to adjust it here. There's not a lot of adjustment, and this one's out at the furthest max. So what I'll do is I'll clearance those ends, make them more oblong, a little more clearance, and then I can adjust these evener or more even without bending this all up. And it'll be perfect. And yeah, you can see some marks there, but hey, we knew that going in, that there are going to be marks. This machine over here, this little bender, it leaves marks, and they have some that bend steel that don't leave marks, but they're pricey, and that one was very cheap. So yeah, we're on a budget here, obviously. It doesn't look too bad. You look straight down on it, it's not bad. It's a little bit off. I think if I clearance those oblong, those holes, shove that down a little bit, adjust these right, it should be just right. Okay, so let's get crafty here. Fred was very nice, and he soaked this in his cat pee solution. It's not cat pee, it's citric acid. Anyway, Fred hooked me up, and that stem came out nice. That's the stem that came on the bike. As far as I know, it's original. I'm not sure. It's a 41 Colson. It's your call on that. Let's just put it in and cinch it down a little bit, and just kind of get an idea of how awesomely awesome this is going to look. You know. And as usual, looking for that camera assistant. We're not going to get the final tighten on that. We're just going to, you know, just going to put the bars in real quick. Now, Fred did soak these up pretty good in his solution. But as you see, there's not a lot left for chrome-wise on these. It's just bare. If they were even chrome, it might have been nickel. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's pop these in. I'm gonna have to put you back on the head cam. I'm sorry, folks. It's not all perfect around here. Too far, okay. All right. And this is just a mock-up to see, just to kind of see how it's going to look. And we're not going to ride it like this. We would probably put grease down in there. We'd probably take this bolt out and grease it. Take this all apart and grease that thread. This is just a mock-up. We just want to see what this is looking like. And you know, that's not bad. Yeah, you know, when I clearance that a little bit, so this will drop down, and with the bars on, you'd really have to be like an expert to tell that that's uneven. You'd have to look down and measure. And you know, I might even just leave that be. The whole bike isn't perfect. You can see a few little marks there from my machine. And yeah, that's what the strut rods should look. Well, actually, this piece came with the bike, and I mean, I'll have to look online what a 1941 Colson looks like. Loop tail, and this is why they call it a loop tail. I'll have to look online and look at a picture of one and see the problem is a lot of the pictures of these bikes, they're like from a far distance or someone's trying to sell it. They're not close up. They're not close up like I'm getting, you know. They're not coming in here like this to tell you what it looks like. So it's your call. It's your, you know, you tell me, bike experts. I know you're out there. This was on the bike, and they wouldn't have worked with these rods, that's for sure. They would have been way out. It would have looked pretty goofy. I'm pretty sure the strut rods are supposed to come up straight like that and help stiffen this angle here, help stiffen the fork. That's why they're called strut rods. This was like before they even had springers, they had strut rods. And I had this, but this isn't really going to help us. And I don't know what that was from. And then there was this piece, and that's really not going to help us. That ain't doing, what do you, I don't know what's going on here. Was it there? Anyway, yeah, so we're getting it, and this looks pretty good, you know. This is not bad, folks. I'll take that to the bank all day. You know, it's doing this thing. Not bad. Hey, thanks, Fred, for soaking all those parts for me. I might drop this other part back over to you. You haven't seen this one yet. We might soak this one up. The back's a little scuffed up. And it's not Colson, but it's cool. It's got like a little, almost a Lazy Heart looking thing, but not quite. And it looks better than this rusted one. And like I said earlier in part 15, that's a pretty big gear to be humping around Asheville Hills and thinking you're going to go somewhere. That's like for Kansas or Bonneville Salt Flats or something. That's probably the equivalent to a 52. And this one, the shinier chrome and the cooler design, I don't know. You guys tell me what you want, you know. And let's see, here's a new D hub. Let's get to the chain that's completely wasted. What else we got in here? Oh, look at this. Wow, that's dainty. That came from a 1950 Ward's Hawthorne. All these parts are from a Ward's Hawthorne 1950. Wow, that's really dainty. What were they expecting to do with that? I guess they were gonna... Yeah, that's kind of a rough one. Anyway, yeah, we're doing good. We got to take some spokes out of this.